the fight for 2020. We are about 24 hours away from the first CNN presidential debate. It is going to be a make or break moment for many of the candidates, especially those trying to pull ahead in the polls, get more name recognition. These are the moments. It's early, but they are crucial. Out front now, Democratic candidate for president, Andrew Yang. And I appreciate your being with me. Nice to see you in person, Mr. Yang. So today you announced you've qualified for the third debate. Okay?
Yes, very exciting.
And you know, yours may not be a name that has full household recognition, but you have a very loyal following, online following. You got to get up in the polls, though, with kind of that mass recognition. So how are you preparing for this debate to do that?
Well, we're thrilled for the opportunity. I actually spent much of the last 10 years working here in Detroit. My organization helped create hundreds of jobs. And Detroit is the ground zero for the automation of so many manufacturing jobs over the last number of years. So we're going to use this debate as an opportunity to call out the economic transformation we're in the midst of, and then propose real solutions like a freedom dividend of $1,000 a month, which would be a game changer for the families here in Detroit and really across the country.
And you have laid out, and I know obviously, so here's the thing. Last time, right, you didn't get a ton of talk time, whatever reason that may be. What are you going to do differently this time so that you get out there and make that mess and make your point?
Well, the great thing, and you just said it, we're now one of the 8 campaigns to qualify for the debates, not just this week, but also in September and October. So we have a real great opportunity, not just this week, but throughout the coming weeks to make this case to the American people. We're in a fortunate position where we're not in desperation mode, where many of the campaigns are in a bit of a Hail Mary situation.
I think they're going to just, you know, lob a bomb just because.
Yeah, and that's one of the unfortunate dynamics that we're in the midst of, where it tends to degenerate into rehearsed attack lines because you're in a situation where you feel like your back's against the wall. And that's not where our campaign is, which makes me very, very happy and glad.
So when it comes down to, obviously, you know, talk time isn't what it's all about, right? But last time it was 3 minutes. What Kamala had 4 times that amount. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden got a lot more than that. So do you want a lot of time? Or
of course, you'd rather more time than less.
Right. I mean, and what I get is, you know, you're making the point on this universal basic income, right? $1,000 a month. And there's a lot of curiosity about that, and you have to tell people about that.
Yeah.
But do you want to be defined only by that?
Well, it's certainly not a length of time talking contest. I mean, you have to use your time to actually make real points to the American people about the fact that we're in the midst of the greatest economic transformation in our history, and we need to solve the problems that got Donald Trump elected in the first place. We're going to make those points, I'm sure, this week. And we're just thrilled to be here to have yet another opportunity to make the case to the American people.
So you spent time in Detroit, and as you said, you helped rebuild Detroit. You can see downtown Detroit is a place they've spent a lot of time, right? And there's a lot more to be done. But a lot of time has been spent. People like you, people like Dan Gilbert. And you see that in some other cities. Baltimore is one of them.
Yep.
Baltimore Harbor. You look at things over by Johns Hopkins. I grew up in Maryland. And yet there's a lot of problems in Baltimore. And we all know that. And the facts are the facts, and they're ugly. But the president says, of Elijah Cummings, his district, right, that Baltimore is disgusting, rat and rodent invested. You also worked in Baltimore. What did you say?
Well, there are problems in Detroit. There are problems in Baltimore. At the same time, there are incredible individuals and organizations trying to make things better on the ground. And that's really the challenge we have in front of us. But it's certainly not helpful for someone just to say, oh, look at all the problems. I mean, the reason why I've been working in these communities for the last 8-9 years is because I believe we can do better, and we can do better.
So when the president says rat and rodent infested, what do you think? I mean, is that just blatant racism? Why?
Well, we have to stop running around after Trump's tweets. One of the things I'm saying is that, look, if he verifies that he's Donald Trump for the 1,000th time, that's not really like a game changer for us. It's like, he is who he is. We have to actually try and solve the problems on the ground that got him elected. That's the focus of my campaign, and that's where, in my opinion, the entire field should be focused.
All right. Well, Andrew Yang, I appreciate your time. Thanks very much.
It's
very
good
to see you. All right. And don't miss the Democratic debates right here on CNN. The first of 2 is live tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern.